This week at CES, Sharp is introducing a new category of camera, this prosumer model, which is an 8K video camera. We're previewing it today, so we don't have a formal specification or availability dates. We will be making all of that information formally available in April at NAB. But the preliminary information that we can provide is it's a Sharp developed micro 4/3 CMOS along with a micro 4/3 lens mount here. We also have an articulating 5-inch touchscreen LCD display, which will allow you to view your video, but also, because it's touchscreen, we can operate most of the functions of the camera right from the touchscreen display. The plan for this product is also have image stabilization and autofocus as well. On the right hand side here we have an SD card slot. On the left side we have a variety of inputs. We have an audio and input and output. We have a full-size HDMI port and a C-type interface as well. Live streaming video from the HDMI, and then finally a mini XLR audio input as well.
Hey, Guy Cochran here today, and we're here with Cliff Quiroga in the Sharp booth, and we're going to hear a little bit about the 8K workflow and the two new 8K cameras that have just been introduced, and also talk a little bit about the editing and the infrastructure and where the future's going with 8K. What can you tell us about all this new technology?
Okay, well, Sharp is talking today about our 8K ecosystem, right? So a lot of companies this week are introducing 8K televisions and monitors and displays, but there isn't a tremendous amount of content available in the industry today. So Sharp, being part of the Foxconn family, is leveraging our power of being able to develop multiple categories of products. And so we are introducing today two new 8K cameras, one professional camera and one prosumer camera, to help encourage the capture of more 8K content.
And so the workflow right now from the larger camera I saw was a larger SSD, which we'll get a cutaway to that.
Okay.
That holds about how many minutes of footage?
We can hold up to 80 minutes of 8K 60 frame per second footage on that SSD cartridge, and then we can take that SSD, load it into a cartridge reader, and bring it onto a high-end PC.
Okay. So a high-end PC, what kind of specs are we talking? Like
probably dual CPU, at least 16 cores. Our PC that we're showing here today has 2 terabytes of memory, solid state memory, because we need to be able to manage up to 15 minutes of video. So we could probably do a nice video production up to 15 minutes, but a lot of the online vloggers, right, and YouTubers are really doing a lot of 5-minute segments. Yeah. So it makes it achievable to manage, maintain, and distribute 8K content for small projects.
So is the compression vastly different on the professional camera versus the smaller? So is it a media as a SD card, I'm guessing?
Right. So there are some differences. So the Pro camera, which will be available in April, uses a Grass Valley codec, and so that's readily available on the market, H.265, and so that product is slightly different than the prosumer product. The prosumer product we're just previewing today, so we don't have final specifications on that product, but it is H.265 as well, and that product offers a articulating 5-inch touchscreen display. It is a micro 4/3 Sharp developed CMOS and a micro 4/3 lens interface. It also has image stabilization and autofocus.
Cool. And that one price point?
Price point will be under $5,000. We're hoping to achieve a $3,000 price point on that.
$3,000. Wow. How has the response been from people coming by the?
It's really been fabulous from especially folks like yourself who are sort of on the go, moving, carrying all their equipment, trying to operate on their own. It's really hit a sweet spot. for that category. And that's exactly what we want, because there's tons of people who are capturing and creating unique content now and posting it to YouTube or their vlog sites or on the internet. And so we really want to help drive that opportunity.
So has there actually been footage released from the smaller camera?
We have not. That is just a prototype today.
Okay.
And so in April, likely at NAB, we'll have working samples and we'll introduce the final specification and the availability of the product at that time.
And what we're seeing up here is 8K from that camera that was transferred via the SSD?
That's right. This is from the professional camera. So we just want to demonstrate to folks, yeah, we understand it's a lot of data, but yes, you can do short-run production on high-end PCs that you can buy on the market today with off-the-shelf GPUs and do your own in-house production with 8K.
And street price of the professional camera?
Professional camera is going to be about $100,000.
Wow!
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's not just for the
Santa.
kid down the street. Right. Yeah, that's Netflix type of a product, Amazon type of a product, studio product. Right, that's the type of stuff that we're offering to professional sporting events, right? Professional entertainment venues, right? Those who need to capture, want to capture 8K content and then maybe live stream it to massive screens, right? Like you see at concerts and sporting events, they have these huge screens. They need a tremendous amount of resolution in order to make that look clear and beautiful.
So about how long of a time frame do you see from now to adoption of the market? I mean, we're barely seeing 4K really start to get broadcasted.
Well, I don't control broadcast. I don't know about broadcast, but you're going to start to see streaming content of 8K video this year online. Hopefully guys like yourself will pick up a camera like that and post it online and show some unique capabilities. And of course, you can capture in 8K and then downscale it to 4K, right? So especially if you're not really sure what you're capturing, if you're doing it on your own, grab it in 8K and then maybe zoom in and crop it right down to a 4K image. It gives you a lot of flexibility in your capture device.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, 8K, the pixel count, just being able to punch into a 4K. I mean, I've been doing it the opposite with HD, just kind of, you know, punching into to get those shots that it makes it look like I have two cameras. I mean, right now we're shooting in 4K and I'll be winding up in the edit doing punch in.
Right.
It just makes life easier.
Right, so you have a lot of flexibility and who knows what type of creative things guys like yourself are going to be able to come up with. Once they have the tools and the ability to utilize it, you know, people will become artistic and try and create new content that way.
And as I get some B-roll of what's going on next to us here in the booth, what else can you tell us about some of this?
So as we try and extend the ecosystem, we recognize the fact that certainly capturing the content and creating it in small sizes is possible, as we just discussed. But production houses, studios, right, multi-camera shoots, right, at large events where you like a football game where you may have 10 or 15 cameras all feeding into one place. It needs high-end equipment that can handle multiple GPUs, tremendous amount of scalable nearline storage and offline storage and CPU processing power. So we're offering through our Tamazone line of products everything from a small workstation which could be outfitted in a mobile studio, maybe a van that's on site, to larger studio production rack systems, all the way up to cloud storage and distribution systems that might be used by a Netflix or an Amazon.
Wow, so how did this whole thing unfold of 8K from HD in the Sharp world? Were you privy to any of that as development was going on, like a year or two, or what was the kind of timeline that took place?
Right, so a lot of this technology is leveraging core technologies that Sharp and the Foxconn family of companies have had and been applying to other categories. For example, the Tamazone system is being used today for artificial intelligence, so there's a lot of applications that need to be able to manage and crunch large amounts of data, right? We talk a lot about big data and big data analytics. Well, it's systems like the Tamazone system that do that. And so we're leveraging that technology to drive the distribution of the 8K technology. Sharp for a long time has been in LED technology, but also optics, right? A lot of people don't know it, especially the younger generation, but in the 90s, Sharp was the first company to introduce an LCD display onto a camera.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
And Sharp was also the first company to put a camera onto a mobile phone and an LCD as well. Yeah, so Sharp has always been an innovator of new types of technology, but as time goes on and it becomes prolific and everybody has it, it becomes less clear where those innovative ideas came from.
I remember the Foxconn name with Apple. There were some things years ago.
Foxconn manufactures a large majority of the iPhones and the iPads. So that's mostly what they're most famous for. But Foxconn has a very deep range of companies that develop a lot of high technology products. And so we're leveraging that. And so Sharp now being a part of the Foxconn family can help to drive that out into the market since we're a well-known brand name.
Interesting, because I come more from the broadcast and prosumer world, where it's Panasonic, with the Lumix line, and Sony with the Cinalta, and so the industry's saying like Sharp out of everybody came out of nowhere, but it's seemingly not out of nowhere. You guys have been innovating this whole time.
Yeah, go online. If you search the Sharp ViewCam, you can actually see the innovation that happened at that time. We didn't continue in the camera area, but now we're entering back into it, and that's one of the reasons we're previewing this prosumer product today.
Wow. So what do you foresee as adoption of this? Do you see this as catching on, the two new cameras? Do you see this really catching on, and then the monitors as well?
Yeah, the response has been fantastic at the show this week. We really have had a ton of people keep coming by, and the online buzz has really been driving a lot of activity. People are reading about it from all over the world. We have guys coming over from Italy and Dubai and Germany, where they're getting calls from their headquarters saying, hey, stop by the Sharp booth and check out what's going on. People are blogging about it and online all over the place. So the word's spreading. So we think that that's positive, and our message about an 8K ecosystem, I think, has really resonated with a lot of folks. And now that people start to see the quality of the video and the image and the flexibility that you can get from it, we think it's really going to take off. So
yeah, and it's actually working right here in the booth. Regular, good old Adobe Premiere, editing 8K clips with the file transfer box. So it's all real. This isn't fake stuff. We can edit right now.
Yep. So
I mean, it's just
with me will be an 8K video.
Amazing. Well, yeah, maybe in NAB. You're gonna be here for NAB?
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll see you there. Thank you for the time, Cliff.
Thank you.
All right.